What's going on, everybody? My name is Tomas. Welcome to our comparison between the Aputure Deity and Sennheiser MKH 416 shotgun microphones. Now, this is simply going to be a test in a controlled environment. Now, it isn't sound treated, but it is a rather controlled environment for testing these two microphones and pitting them against each other. The Sennheiser MKH 416 is the industry standard when it comes to shotgun microphones, and more than likely you've heard some audio on a TV show or something like that was recorded using that microphone. Now, Aputure is going to be challenging the Sennheiser stranglehold on the industry with the Deity. Now, this microphone is extremely impressive. I've been using it for about 2 months now, and it produces a really similar sound when it comes to the MKH 416. Now, when you listen to it really closely and run it under types of things, you can tell that there is a difference with the MKH 416 and how much of a warmer sound it produces. The Deity's frequency response range is a little bit more narrow than the MKH 416, as it comes in between 50 hertz all the way up to 20,000 hertz. The typical human ear can hear anywhere from 20 hertz all the way up to 20,000 hertz. So you will be missing out on some of those low frequency when it comes to recording sound into the Deity. I'm recording at a 96K sample rate at a 24-bit depth. Now, that won't matter because YouTube's going to do its compression all the way down to 48 and 16, I believe. The Deity will need external power because it cannot power itself and it doesn't house a battery or anything like that. The unique thing about the Deity, however, is that it can be powered using 24 volt or 48 volt phantom power. The other thing that's really cool about the Deity is that it is at exactly the same dimensions as the Sennheiser MKH 416. So what does that mean? Well, if you've invested in the MKH 416 accessories and ecosystem, that means you can back your MKH 416 up with the Deity because it will fit into all of the accessories. Some other cool things about the Deity is that it is water resistant and can be used in the elements. The Aputure representative told me that you could go ahead and dunk this thing and submerge it into water, and you could still recover the microphone and use it a day after you let it, or 2 days after you let it dry out. I wasn't brave enough to try that out because I really like the quality of this microphone. The build is extremely well constructed, as it has a brass interior and it has a hefty feel to it. It's a really great microphone. Build quality is fantastic, and for $360, Aputure is kind of crazy to be selling such a high quality microphone at that low of a rate. You can purchase this in a kit, which I would recommend, and that adds $60, I believe. If you're interested in pricing and availability of the microphone, feel free to hit the links in the description. Now, hopefully you've had your headphones on this whole time while you're listening to me talk about the Aputure Deity. This is a comparison between this and the MKH 416. Now I want to demonstrate the quality of audio and handling noise of the Aputure Deity. I also want to give you some off-axis sound samples so you can see how well it rejects sound. Now, I am in a controlled environment, so take it for what it's worth. I'm going to move it off to the side and to let you hear how it's rejecting sound off axis, and I'm also handling it without any real care of how I am handling it. It rejects handling noise pretty well, but I wouldn't recommend using this microphone in this fashion. I would use a boom pole and some sort of shock mount to get the highest quality audio. Without any further ado, let's hop over to this guy and let him give you some example sounds from the MKH 416. All right, so like this joker said, this is the demo of the MKH 416 by Sennheiser. This is just being thrown in here for comparison to the Aputure Deity. It is being sampled at 96K at a 24-bit depth, exactly the same as that sample. It's going through my Roland Super UA audio interface into Adobe Audition with no post-processing. This is raw audio. There's nothing that has been done to this. The Sennheiser MKH 416 is a very well-known microphone throughout industry, and like he was talking about, it is been used to record probably one of your favorite TV shows or something you've seen in the past. That's how well known it is, and that's how long it's been in industry. So there's really no sense for me to talk about specifications because there's plenty of reviews out there that go in far more detail than this. This is strictly a comparison to the Aputure Deity. One thing you will notice, however, is that the frequency response range on the MKH 416 is a bit wider, as the lower end is represented a bit better because it goes all the way down to 40 hertz and all the way up to 20,000 hertz. So if you're in the market for a high quality shotgun microphone and you have the budget, I highly recommend the MKH 416, hands down. For $1,000, this is the best microphone on the market, and there's really no argument for that. But if you don't have the budget, the Aputure Deity is the best shotgun microphone that I've used and tested for under $400, hands down. Like, that microphone is just fantastic, and comes highly recommended from me because I've been using it the past 2 months and I haven't had any issues with it. So before I close, I want to give you some off-axis samples of the MKH 416 and handling noise demonstration. This is me hand-holding the MKH 416, which is not recommended. The same for that microphone. And then we're going to go ahead and turn it off-axis to see how it performs and see how it rejects noise. And we're going to turn it the other way and see how it performs and rejects noise. Just like the Aputure Deity, you need 48 volt phantom power to power this thing, and you need an external recorder because it doesn't have capabilities to power itself. Before I close, I must disclose Aputure was kind enough to send us the Deity for testing. Without them, this video would not have been possible, so a huge shout out to them and a big thank you. If you're interested in pricing and availability on both of these microphones, again, hit the links in the description of the video. Well, that about does it for me in this one. If you like this video, please feel free to give us a thumbs up. If not, hit that other one. We are Tomas. Thanks for taking the time to watch, and one of us will catch you in the next one.